Friday night, it is in the Vernon, the magnificent Vernon, the marvellous Vernon. It is with our magnificent friends at Erdinger as well. A delight to be partnering with them. I've got Phil Blundell, I have got Cam Rimmer, and I've got Kev Walsh. Before what is the biggest weekend of our lives. It starts here. Like, I just had a drink then, just before we went on, and I just thought, oh,
here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. You're going to have to pace yourself though, because
it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Well, 48 hours to kick off.
48 hours to kick off. 48 hours to kick off as we record this.
So in my head, I'm thinking I could do 48 hours to kick off, no problem. But the only problem is then the 48 hours after kick off as well. I think
it's 96 hours. That's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours, and also I have got a marriage to sort of try and take care of.
You're not as young as you used to be either.
No, I'm not. And also I'm kidding myself to think I could do 48 hours. I'm being totally honest about it.
Yeah, but it is 48 hours.
48 hours. 48 hours to the greatest day of our life, or as Phil just said, the funniest thing you've ever seen, because Tottenham so hopefully will win. Imagine that.
It's so funny.
No one's even mentioned that.
It'd be really funny. If Tottenham win the game, I would come out of the ground laughing. I genuinely think I would. I'd laugh my head off.
Well, I don't think you'd have much choice, would you? But imagine all those kids who've been dragged up by the dads to stand outside the solly or whatever, do you know what I mean? Like that, this is absolutely shit. Why have you done this to me? But yeah, let's not confidence that. Let's just go for the victory.
Let's just go for the victory. How are your plans going? What's your preparation been like?
I think the before the game stuff is all.
You're the most organised person I know around this. Me and Glibbins had a chat today. He was most on top, and we decided it was you.
After game is sketchy because one of my mates is like, "Why are we making plans?" Like we were even talking about ale for after if we're outside the ground, because you won't get within a mile of an offie really by the ground. So and then he's like, he'll be all right. It's like, probably won't be, you know. And he basically just thinks he's just going to turn up and it'll be heavy and it'll be sound. And we're all like, you're off your head here, you know. But yeah, we've been talking about, can someone park the car in a pub or something like that and put ale in the booth?
Look, we've been the guest house just to rent, just to put crates in. Yeah. Just to put ale in for after the game, do you know what I mean?
Imagine the price of guest houses though, fucking hell, mate.
It'd be worth it to keep your crate cold.
Might just order on Uber. Just a fella turning up with a crate. What a fella that'd be.
You'd get about 3 babies by the time you got to those fellowship like that.
It's going to be absolutely incredible, Cam. It is all about the planning and then all about the execution, and we've just got to hope they do their bit. There's no, like, I like the extent to which I'm really into what I can't control on Sunday. I cannot control what the players do. I'm trying to control, I've got a lot of other plates spinning, I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm very into the idea that the players are just going to look after their end.
Yeah, well, it's just because it's unique. We've never had this before. It's like how I felt before Kia performed the first Champions League final, where it's like, what do we even do? What's he doing to take the game? Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's Sunday. I literally don't know what's going to happen. It's so close from, like, I literally don't know what. Well, I think I know what I'm doing before, and then after, God knows. But yeah, like, I haven't even thought about the match because, like you said, there's just so much going on. And I'm going to get on the ground and like, oh shit, there's a match on. It's like, oh yeah, go with the league now.
Let's hope that's not their attitude. I like to think that they're very on top of there's a match on. Maybe
you say that, but they're not going for a pint before. You'd like to think.
I hope not.
So
Andy Robbo like that. Come on, boys, just have one book fast with me.
We'll play better. I think there is a thing, isn't it, where with them, for them, the manager today in his press conference, he talks about the big responsibility of it. I like the fact that at every opportunity, he just keeps more onto their shoulders. Every chance he gets, he's like, well, you keep telling me they're good, but they best prove it. So even this now, the idea they've got one game to win the league at Anfield, and it's still 5 games from the end, he's still turned that into a thing where, well, they best not fuck around with me. Because my attitude is, you're meant to be the best ones, so why aren't you going to just be the best ones?
And now I think because we can do a Sunday, like we were saying off there then, I think it's just been a mental thing the last few weeks, where it's just so close, and it's like, all right, keep going and going. But I think Sunday we'll just turn up and it'll be the best performance in weeks. To be honest, because they know it's there.
I agree.
I could see it easily by half time where it's 3-0.
I also think the pedals should have been taken out of it now. We've got 5 games to get 1 point, and you might not even. You can theoretically lose all 5 games with the league.
Just to confirm, that's pedal if we don't win on Sunday. Just because of the week I've got planned after.
Well, yeah. Okay. You know what? But that's not them, Kev. That's not the footballers.
What will somebody think about Kev?
That's a fair point.
For once, Kev.
Just once.
I can't believe you aren't right at the top of Andy Robertson's list of priorities, in all honesty.
But they seem relaxed though. Like, they're playing darts yesterday. Yeah. It's like the pictures that the club tweeted out, they're just playing darts. It's like, sound. They seem relaxed though.
What are they doing until half-4? This is the thing. You know, we know we're doing stuff before, but they've just got to sit there and go.
I'm sure they got some sort of 3-match here.
Chelsea's step on FIFA.
Yeah,
that's 100%. Then the rest of them don't know. Literally don't know what the rest of them.
What was you doing?
We're just trying to keep my mind off it tomorrow. It's as if it's like a last game of the season, and it's like we're playing City. our own, like last game of the season, whoever wins it. That's how nervous I feel, and I don't know why. It could be the hangover from last night, it could be. Yeah, no, I think once you get up Sunday and you're with the lads and you're having a pint, I think you'll start.
What would you do? Honestly, if you were playing, what would you do Sunday? It's like a massive turn of events for them to whack you in goal.
Listen, that really would. But to be fair, I'd still be confident. I'd still be confident we'd beat Tottenham. I imagine they must have like some sort of. They must have like a set routine that they go through for a 4:30 kick-off. Yeah. So there'll be pre-match meal. If you think about it, pre-match meal's probably what, 4 hours before kick-off, something like somewhere around here, maybe 3 or 4 hours before kick-off. So they've got to be together before that. I think before, you know, if you're a footballer at the top level there, I think you think, you're like half 4 things, like it's hours away, and you're like, lad, you want to see how early I've got to get up to half 4 kick-off?
I suppose it's probably a bit easier than last season. They don't stay in a hotel the night before, no home games do they? So they're probably still in their house at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then they're driving the ground, which feels a lot better than waking up in the Titanic at 8:30. You've got 8 hours until kick-off with people outside, got wanting a photo, and you've got to go over on a jog walk past some docks and stuff, like disused docks, and there's nothing else there. That probably does take it out to them a little bit in terms of making it a little bit easier.
So what are you doing? You wake up in yours, but you're going to play for Liverpool to win the league. You're in yours, which is a bit mad, but you're in yours in Wavertree. What are you doing? What's it look like you're doing at 9 o'clock?
You'd find some breakfast. You'd lash Netflix on maybe. I
don't
know. I don't know. It depends. I don't know.
I've been looking at videos of past league wins, just get myself up for it.
Is that what? So
you
see with the decade.
Yeah.
He talks about, like Van Dijk talks about, they were watching when they were supposed to be sleeping. I think Klopp mentioned this as well before the gym, when they were sleeping and they were actually on social media watching what was going on the stage in the fan park. So God knows what they'll be doing. There'll be stuff like that. Town won't quite look like what Madrid looked like, I wouldn't suspect, before the game.
It's got half a chance, you know. Yeah, it's got half a chance.
So there's no focal point organised.
No,
it's not sort of what I mean in terms of it, but there'll still be stuff in like there'll be stuff in various pubs around the ground. You know, I'm sure Kia will be on in the Sandton, for example, and stuff like that for them to watch and people to get involved with and have a look, and they'll be go, hello. But that won't be happening at 9-10 o'clock, will it?
No.
Although it might be, in fairness, I don't know.
They're on Netflix, watching all sorts.
There's all kinds of stuff you can do.
There's loads of shows out at the minute.
Loads of shows.
That's what, say what you want on Netflix, there's loads of stuff on.
Yeah. I don't want any of them watching Black Mirror. I don't want to get into that. You know what I mean? I want them watching.
Especially not that better new. I want it to fucking
crap. No. I want them watching
serial killer documentaries.
Not that either. I want them watching upbeat comedies. That's what I want.
Like the Friday night with Erdinger.
The Friday night with Erdinger is going to be good. Schitt's Creek. Get Schitt's Creek on, lads. It's a good laugh. You know what I mean?
Only 20 minutes an episode.
Yeah, whack through a couple of them. Good laugh, a little bit bleaker, but it sounds.
Yeah.
Don't think about Wrexham.
No.
That's
but they also know that they probably got that to fall back on if all else fails. They can go to Wrexham.
Yeah, well, and see where they are as and when that comes about. With it all, I mentioned it before, the manager. You know, we've talked rightly a lot about the players all the way through the season, and more now. I want the next few days to be as much, if not more, about him, because he's brought us here. He's took what was there last year. It was 82 points, by the way. They still might only get 82 points, but it was 82 points last season. It was a really, really good squad. But Kev, what he's done to bring us here to this point, he's held his nerve when everyone else in the Premier League has lost theirs.
Yeah, 100% he has, and he's done it under. He's only 46, he's a couple of years older than me. I don't know, like, as you get older, everything seems a bit, everyone who you thought was ancient seems a bit younger. But he's 46, he's in his, obviously he's managed over in Holland, but just there's no comparison. There's nothing like managing in the Premier League, and then to ramp that pressure up even further. There is nothing on God's green earth like managing Liverpool Football Club. So he was brought in as a head coach with, I think, the club's intention to sort of bring us away from deifying these men. Well, how's that worked out for you, boys? Because I'm wearing an Arnie slot tattoo on my face, do you know what I mean? So, head coach or manager, like, what he's done is absolutely out of this world. I think me and you were arguing at the start of the season, because I'm a little bit of a dramatical fellow sometimes, that there was no chance we could win the league. You were saying, no, there definitely is, and you were very analytical in your points that you made, and you were proving to be correct. But I think he from the moment he come in, I think he thought he probably could.
Yeah.
It's been helped by the fact that Man City aren't the Man City of old, obviously. But what I would say with that is, Liverpool would have risen to any challenge this season, from what I can see. It's not like we've sort of stumbled to it, like people are trying to have you believe. We've absolutely won this league, no problems at all. And for him to do that, like, so quickly, one of the things I do what comes out to Sunday is that, I know he's obviously, I think it's in his mind not to do the Jurgen Klopp thing of coming to the Kop all the time and, listen, we're needy, aren't we? As a fan base, we're very needy. And when I'm in that Kop, I'm dying for him to just come on one time and give it a little fist pump or something. But obviously, Sunday, hopefully, even he goes, yeah, go on, I've earned this now, I'll come over and take it. And it's a little bit like the players who didn't touch the side because they hadn't won the league and all stuff like that. He's probably got certain rules like that in his own mind, because as far as he's concerned, this is an unbelievable challenge. The challenge of his lifetime, if we're being honest about it. So when he's come in, he hasn't wanted to make any of those things that jump too early into saying, oh, I'm great here, aren't I? But when you become the Premier League champions, and it's something that we crave for so long, and we get to do it in front of fans, I hope he takes all the plaudits. I'm not sure he's that type of fella. I hope he is a little bit. I hope he's just been, no one of them, he's hiding it deep down. But I hope on Sunday that the fella who enjoys it the most on the pitch is Arne Slot. I don't think it will be, but I'd just love to see him go, like, rejoice in what he's built.
Give himself 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Just give himself 20
just
seconds.
To lose it a little bit. I'm happy for him to draw it back, but I just want to see that. Aren't we great? And it's the we thing as well, because if he does lose it, he then becomes a part of us. Like Klopp was always a part of the Kop, wasn't he? Arne Slot sort of, he hasn't separated himself from it. I don't mean that in any sort of negative context, but I think he's always just tried to hold it back a little bit and use the power of the fans in a different way to what Klopp did. But it's a lovely feeling when the people who are on the pitch feel like they're a part of the Kop, and I hope on Sunday he gets that little moment as well.
There is what Kev says there about him coming into the Premier League. He never managed to win the Premier League before. But you get the impression from the minute he turned up, he thought a lot about managing in the Premier League, and he thought a lot about what the league was. For me, that's his best achievement all the way through the campaign. I genuinely think the reason why we're winning this league is he's understood what it is to win this league more than anyone else, and that's a mad thing to say because of Guardiola's past, because Arteta's had a couple of really big goals, and there's obviously the managers who've done it, but I feel as though he's broken it down into its chunks. He's worked out these are the games you have to win. No, non-negotiable, lads, non-negotiable. Part of the reason he was so angry about Forest was Forest felt then like one of the non-negotiables. Yeah. I feel like he's broken every challenge down, understands every challenge, and then has prepared Liverpool to go and do that over and over.
Yeah, I was reading a piece in the Athletic today talking about how he sort of pulled out of the Tottenham job, and it's sort of it feels like he's been thinking about the Premier League obviously for a long time and what you do, and he's obviously just looked at Tottenham and thought, it's not the best way of doing this, so why would I go there? I can bide me time at Feyenoord, and I think he got more points last season than Feyenoord have ever got, ever. Which he didn't win the league somehow, which feels cruel, but they got more points than ever.
Feels very Liverpool,
yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Prepared them very well for coming over here.
But so he's sort of, what he learned from that is he's learned how you get loads of points, and the key way you get loads of points, and I've said this for years now, is you beat the bottom 10. Liverpool are currently on 50 points from 18 games against the bottom 10. Yeah. Arsenal played 19 against the bottom 10 and they're on 43 or 44, I think it is. Like, that is...
So we win the two remaining against the current bottom 10.
That's where you win. That's where you win it.
Yeah,
because
and they're on 56 or 56 out of 60, etc.
You're on 56 out of 60. To get 86 points, you need to win 7 or 8 games against the rest of the top 10 over the course of a year. And he's managed to get on this. Like, we've won 8 games against the top 10 this season. 8.
Yeah.
From 15.
Yeah.
Less than 50% of our games against the top 10. Because you don't need to. Like, obviously you need to win some of them, obviously, but you need to basically just rack up the points against the lesser sides, and ultimately, the two teams we haven't beaten in the bottom 10 are Everton and Manchester United. Yeah. And they come with massive asterisks where you can go, well, it's Everton, and also the last fucking minute of the game.
Yeah.
It's the 97th minute, and it's also a derby anyway, but the other one's Manchester United. And they're not really, let's be perfectly honest, you say what you want about Manchester United, they're not really a bottom half team, are they? Let's be perfectly honest.
They're doing a cracking impression of one.
They are, but they still
the hard yards in, aren't they?
They are, they're having a good go.
Method acting it.
It's still, ultimately, my point is more, it's still Manchester United.
Well, for us, it's still Manchester United.
It's still Manchester United. And we knew when we went in the ground.
It's Anfield. It's interesting at Anfield.
Exactly.
They turned up that day going, we're not getting embarrassed. No. And they did that they've done that the year before, we're not getting embarrassed. And Everton was not dissimilar. Last every game.
It was an equaliser with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Like, we've got 3 equalisers with 10 minutes to go. Was like, 10 minutes in at least this season. I can't remember all of them, but there's definitely been 3. Yeah. There've been Newcastle, Manchester United, and there's 3. That's 6 points. We could have won the league 2 weeks ago. Yeah. We hadn't conceded those 3 goals, which is mad, isn't it?
Well, but United though won that day. I thought they were just good.
They played well, yeah, it did, yeah.
But in terms of with Slot, I feel like it's been refreshing in a way, because with Klopp you felt every time like you looked sad or down on the telly, you felt it with him.
It's less emotional, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just, and we've needed that, because there's been so many home games where I've just been sat there and it's like the game's won on 60 and you're just speaking to the fella next to you and Slot's just chilling. And it's like we just needed that, and he hasn't let the media get to him on anything. He had the thing at the derby where he lost his head, but compared to people in our end, it was quite low, to be honest. So, like, in a way, like, he's come in, apart from nice, had that little blip where even, like, there wasn't much of that, it was a derby.
By the way, on Kev's point before, though, about sort of the communion, etc., I've never felt more communion with him than the thing after the derby. The extent to which I was like, because I loved that before, Andy was all, we're all going to keep it calm, we're going to take the emotion out of it, and at the end of the match, he's prepared to basically just follow any referee around the pitch. I just loved him for it. It's one of my favourite moments.
Do you feel like after each game, when he comes over to the Kop, he's a little bit more enthusiastic since the derby? I think the derby, I'm not saying he's going full on Klopp fist bumps, but he does seem a little bit more...
He's got more... I think,
and also it's closer to the finish. I think.
I also think he felt like, because Klopp had such a relationship like that, he didn't want to come in from the start and just try and replicate it and try and be full on. And I think he sort of felt like he had to earn that right to sort of. It's like the touching of the. In a way, it's like the touching of the side.
Klopp. If you go back to 15-16, Klopp is more subdued. 15-16 with reference to the crowd. There's not the fist pump thing comes in at post COVID. That's when he starts to do that. He was obviously right up for it and stuff like Barcelona helps and all this. Well, his first mad moments, even though they win a big game at City and they win a big game at Chelsea, his first mad Kloppish moments is the 5-4 against Norwich. If you know what I mean, that's the first time you got full Klopp of that. And that's because it was a 5-4. You know what I mean? And I think Klopp came in trying to be more reserved.
We haven't really had any of that this season. We haven't sort of had any. Like Liverpool seasons are usually punctuated with madness at some point. That's the only thing. And it's an away game in front of 1,800 of our fans at 3 o'clock. It's not on the telly. So that's when it's not going to be.
It just went.
It's not going
to
be
just
like
went
that.
fine, hasn't it? Everything's just.
It's funny, isn't it? Because all the years fighting against Man City, all we were saying was, I just want one where it's just a normal, straightforward, and here we are, and look how excited we all are for Sunday. So anyone else watching who's not a Red, like, but you haven't got the drama. Listen, we've all had enough of the drama. We've all had enough, and also
everyone is so happy.
Like Gary, did you see Gary Neville on there? Oh well, he's out. It was obviously recorded before the Arsenal, but it came out on Thursday, I think.
Like also betting in.
Yeah. And he sort of went, wouldn't that be great, nothing funnier than them winning the league sat at home on a Wednesday night. And I was like, do you know what? I'd be all right with it. Because we won the league.
No. I wanted to win on Sunday.
I said to Gary Neville, by the way, I was all right with it, but I wouldn't be. We've win the league. People, anyone watching this who's not a Red, be like, ain't my ass. You get more than anyone else in the whole wide world when it comes to supporting your football club. But it feels like, for the years we've put into wanting to be the best and wanting to win the league, and obviously we've won European Cups and that, we've won a league, got taken away sort of by COVID. But it feels like we've earned the right to have one where we get to look forward to Sunday and go, we're going to win the league on Sunday. Now listen, Tottenham could throw that spanner in the works, we've all said before, it would be quite funny if that happened. But it does feel like if a fan base, as spoiled as it sounds, has earned the right to sort of a procession towards the title 100%. And to enjoy every single minute of it, it is us, because the amount of times where we've been in that race until the 86th minute on the final day of the season, and then some fucker at Man City just like Gundo and Attack on the last day of the season, you're messing or what? What's going on?
We've been to Anfield 3 days. 3 times on the last day of the season. The chance to win the league and not won the league. And won all 3 games as well, by the way.
But the feel going into that, because it was a big Man City shadow over us with Sunday, it's just us.
This is the Friday night. We are in the Vernon. We are with our friends at Erdinger. We'll be back in a second or two and we'll find out what Cam's got under his hand there.
And Erdinger, please.
Stop! Don't forget the best bit.
Welcome back, we're in the bin, having a fantastic time. You've never seen Phil this happy. He's only number happy when he's correcting someone. I've got Kev and I've got Cam as well.
It's not true, that, by the way.
There you
That was
go.
a good
Excellent
joke,
stuff.
thanks.
Excellent
Thanks,
stuff, well done,
yeah,
Phil.
thank you.
What's that then?
Yeah, so tonight at 1906.
Oh, that's good.
Clever me. We're releasing this top. It's
At
called-
1906?
Yeah.
That was your
1906
idea?
tonight.
Yeah. Well done, Cam.
I'll get Levitt on the group later now.
You've said that on a free-to-view
You
thing on
say, did you
YouTube.
do the design, pull it all together, and are you shipping them as
No,
well?
well, actually, the design, Jay from Scouse Republic, he's helped us out as well, so good shout out to him. But yeah, we're releasing this, and then there's a cap coming out next week as well, but this is coming out tonight. Order it, and then you'll be able to get it for Chelsea away next week and all that, so yeah, nice one.
Excellent stuff. Good.
Where do we buy it again, sorry?
Oh, on the Twitter, we're putting the link out tonight on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and that.
Okay,
So,
all through that.
1906 Instagram.
1906.
Spine Club 1906.
Spine Club 1906. I like how Kev and Phil did all the heavy lifting there for Cam. You effectively just held the thing up.
We all
and
get
then
them
forgot all the
on
relevant
the bus on Sunday.
Yeah.
Sound.
Yeah, just give
All
them
I'll turn up.
you 25.
I'll give them the money. Everyone turn up with one bus.
All the way
Be
to
great.
Chelsea.
Everyone for Chelsea. Be great.
There is with it all, Kev, thing becomes what teams you're going to pick. I don't think he's going to fuck around. I think it's going to be the boys. Maybe there's a question whether it's Jota or Diaz up front. It will not be Nunez because of reports that have come out about from Portugal that if he plays one more time, Liverpool are going to give Benfica.
Funny that, wasn't it? When he saw about the press conference, he's like, it's not true, but might be true.
Just tapping Tony Barros on it.
Think it's true, you know. But no one's told me it's true.
Poor Darwin after his Brentford goal as well, and he doesn't get the moments on the pitch now. He's going to have to.
Well, I think he can come off the bench. He just can't start. So I think he can come on. He just can't start.
It'd be very Darwin if he couldn't, though, wouldn't it? The way, like the way his whole career's gone.
I like the idea that there's been a bit of a falling out in training, and when you find this out, I'm a bit like,
He's clearly, like, for me, it looks like he's been told that's a thing.
Yeah.
and he's gone.
And
So
he's
it doesn't
gone,
matter how I train.
what am I doing here?
I could put in the best week of training anyone's ever seen,
Yeah.
and I'm not getting picked.
Yeah, you can't blame him, can you? In terms of the team, I've only got one thing that I want, and it's not to see Trent. I know that probably won't be a popular thing, especially on a free one, but I'm not asked. I don't want to see him. Hope he doesn't even come on. I'm not getting any deeper into it than that. I understand everyone else got their own ways to think about it, and I'm more than fine.
There's no invalid viewpoints.
Well, that's it, and I'm more than fine with other people thinking, well, he's done enough for it, but he's done sounds no problem. My viewpoint on it is very, very different, and I hope he doesn't get to enjoy the moment that we win the league title. And I also think that Conor Bradley is the future of the club at right back. So, if he is the future of the club, give him the next 6 games to 100%.
I'd start Bradley in this one, and I'd definitely, if they win, if he doesn't start Bradley this one, I would start Bradley in all the others, 110%. But I'd start Bradley in this one as well.
I just don't think there's a reason not to start Bradley now, because
Yeah.
not even if you take the Trent stuff away, Bradley is he's got the potential to be a fantastic footballer. He's shown already that he's on an upward trajectory from a very high base level. So, in my opinion, Arne Slot's job now is to ensure that next season Liverpool start off flying. What better way of doing that than saying to Conor Bradley, you go on that pitch and win us the league today, son?
Well, I want to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about that next week as well, but I want to talk about it from now on, because I think it's going to be interesting on Sunday. I think there's every chance on Sunday. The players are delighted, they're overjoyed, they're emotional, they're overcome. But then there's an interview with Van Dijk or there's an interview with Salah, and one of the things that Van Dijk or Salah say is next season starts tomorrow. Yep. And I am 100% into, listen, we get to have a great time, we get to do what we were talking about before. we get to do all of that. But you've not signed Van Dijk and Salah up on the money that they're on if you're messing about next year. And I don't believe Arne Slot's messing about next year. I just think next season starts, I'll let them have Monday off. Next season starts genuinely Tuesday, and then they can have a great night after the Palace game, a great day on the parade, genuinely, but I feel as though, no, I want to win this again, and I think we've got a great chance to win it again, so it starts Tuesday.
Yeah, well, it's the message you send out, because how many wins have we won in the last 5 of the last 6? Have we won?
We've won 5, there's a 6 last 7.
But then 6 of the last 7, but then how many games left? 5. 5. So imagine that, if near enough like 11 straight wins going into next season. Bearing in mind you've got City and Chelsea in that the summer. that they're having in that tournament. Next season, Arsenal, if they don't do the European Cup, the pressure on Arteta, it's all or nothing, isn't it, for next season? And a more statement I'd be, where look at the end of the season we had and people are saying we're just plodding along, we're just winning every match. And then, so I agree, it starts on the Tuesday straight away.
It's even bigger than that as well. The European Cup is wide open next year because Real Madrid and Arsenal are, Real Madrid, who's in it? Real Madrid.
In the
So it's basically everyone. Barcelona, Liverpool and Arsenal. That's out of all the big teams, they're the only ones who aren't.
Them players, by the time it comes to quarter-final, semi-final stage of the European Cup next year, will have been playing for 12 months straight. Probably some of them, in reality, have had 3 or 4 weeks off. That's 12, 18. So, listen, we're definitely getting ahead of ourselves here, but that's Arne Slot's job now, to make sure that we're aiming to absolutely hit that ground running when it comes to next season. And that, listen, that's not the only reason I don't want to see Trent, obviously, but playing Conor Bradley and giving him them moments, them minutes and the experience of winning the league makes him want it even more. And when that does open up next year, and it will, because as you say, it's such an unknown, this World Cup Championship. It's a bit of a farce, really, if we're being honest. I'm not sure I'd be saying that if we were in it, I'll be honest, because I'd probably be like, I'm going to try and get over there for that one. But
Kev living in America for a month.
But exactly, but you're not necessarily bothered about winning it, more for the experience. But there's just such a pathway to more of these weekends where we're talking about what's happening on Sunday. And it all, as you said, it all starts now. It goes back to the Big Nine. When was that? 2 seasons ago or something? Listen,
seasons build on seasons.
Seasons do build on seasons, 100%.
Well, my favourite example is always Liverpool finished the end of the 12-13 season. Like Sturridge and Coutinho come in. Like a train, they're the best attacking team in the country, and then guess what happens 13-14? They start and they can attack like nothing you've seen in your life. And seasons build on seasons, so let's fucking build this one already.
I'm sort of in this camp in a way, but I'm also in the camp of there's an argument that Salah and Van Dijk should just go on holiday on Tuesday if we win the league. Tell them.
That's the same.
That's the same argument. It is the same argument.
I don't want to be the one who wants to tell Mohamed Salah that you don't actually need to score 30 goals and get 20 assists unless he does them all on Sunday. I think we'd have to win at least 5. We'd have to score at least 5 for him to do that on Sunday. But fair play, that'd be good. But there is an argument that you do that. These players are of a certain age where they can't just go like they're 22. So you have got to think about this, and everything should be about next season.
I think on that note, there is a managing the person thing where I think, and not just the idea of the rewards, but also I think Salah, Van Dijk and Gravenberch will all want to be ever present in the Liverpool League winning team, because that's something you're proud of, you know what I mean? That's something you get to say to everyone. I was there, started every game, I did it over and over, but I don't disagree with your point in a way, and we can all make those decisions based on what we want to make them on. But for me, it is all about let's get ready for next. Let's get this done, and we get to fucking enjoy it, and you can have a lovely day, sat at home in yours playing FIFA. And then you're back to normal on Tuesday if you don't mind. And then you can have a great night after Palace have the best night of your lives, lads.
Has Van Dijk played every minute, by the way?
Yeah.
I don't think he's come off. I think he starts every game. In the league, yeah. I don't remember. Yeah. So that's something you'd want to. You're gonna struggle to talk him off that, aren't you?
But also you've got to think the way that he plays the game. I understand there's an argument for minutes in the legs that can happen to anyone to get injured. The way he plays the game is so controlled, so composed, but it's okay. And even, listen, I know we're talking about going into next season flying, and going into next season flying is important, but there's just no way the intensity can remain the same once you've won the league. We've seen it in 1920 when we won it and we were going for the 100 points, and Burnley ends up fucking drawing at Anfield, do you know what I mean? It's a natural human instinct. That Man City game was hilarious when we got beat about 4-0, didn't we? The players looked like they were still hungover. But it was funny. But I'm all right with that. I'm absolutely all right with that.
Yeah, it'll always annoy me that we did get 101 points that season. Especially when we lose at Arsenal and we 1-0 up. That was the thing that annoyed me. We should have set a record that season that could never ever be beaten. And we can't do that this season. But that would really the main thing we've got left in this season is the scoring both away games.
That's the one.
That's the thing.
That's the record to beat after we get Sunday out the way, and the funny thing doesn't happen. Like I said at the very start. The funny thing doesn't happen from the very start. Listen, it's been the Friday night in the Vernon with Erdinger. A pleasure for all of them, for both Vernon and Erdinger to be part of everything we get to do. Really pleased to partner with both of them in different ways. Erdinger for so long now, but we cherish that indeed very much. Thank you very much to Phil Blundell. Thank you very much to Kev Walsh. Thank you very much to Cam Rimmer. And we meet again as champions.